Sun, moon, stars, and
It's a dark night, 2-0. So, you see the beacon of light through that black hole? Radiant signs and moons, and of course, I have to welcome back all my stars. We're going to go ahead and get into channeling this energy. Either show me what it is I need to see. So, what I'm pulling on today is either you or someone close to you recently went on a trip. Now, for some, this excursion is going to take place in the future. And for others, this is giving you clarity about what happened while you were abroad. Now, a Lambo could be significant. However, this could be any type of foreign car. Now, if you are in Las Vegas or in the surrounding areas, what this is getting to is a plane trip. However, for few, this plane trip talks about an experience in your mind. And for others, this is talking about an actual getaway. Now, someone touching down has a lot to do with tea spilling. However, if you feel like some information was spilled on you, this is certainly going to bring you clarity in regards to a get-along. Now, some of you may be interested in a popular show, and if that is the case, this having a lot to do with investigations is most certainly something that you are aware of. However, in regards to clarity, someone not belonging somewhere has something to do with your getaway. Now, a money grab and someone attempting to define who you are is certainly showing up in this reading. However, currently, I'm getting the energy surrounding you. So since this is the case, what I'm getting for one individual is someone that you recently went on a trip with, felt as if they did something with you that you wouldn't know it was them. And because of this, a grandfather energy is showing up in this reading. Now, somebody could feel like you're bullheaded. However, what I'm getting is this has a lot to do with an alternate universe and your universe parents. So since this is the case, someone doing the unthinkable and someone not being able to communicate properly or get their mind right. So what I also feel to be true in some situations is that someone that you feel is a messiah is going to say that they are a chief. Now, what I also feel to be true is in the near future, a getaway that someone had abroad is going to bring some clarity to others that may be questioning your whereabouts. Now, what I also feel to be true is, you can show me what it is I need to see. While you were away, someone that has a Ruger may have also posted something. Now, you could be saying either Rugers are old. However, this particular individual is known for playing Russian roulette. And since this is the case, someone not being clear in their mind and in their energy has a lot to do with this. Now, you may know of a popular series. However, a Jericho or a Geronimo has something to do with your heritage or someone that I'm pulling on in this energy. And because of this, a trip to Arizona could be relevant, or someone that lives in the outskirts of LA has something to do with this. Now, what I'm also picking up on is an aristocrat wannabe feels like if they show you something, you're going to believe that it wasn't them. However, what I'm getting is you are fully aware of soulmate energy. And because of this, your outlook is changing in regards to an experience that you had, and the person that you had it with is also feeling like something was cleared. Now, if you've recently lost something, especially if it's a ring, what I'm getting to is someone that's seen you on camera felt like they could bind you through your jewelry. And since this is the case, someone not being able to locate theirs is also what I'm picking up on. Now, someone could also feel like if they were around you at that time, you would know that it was them. And since you know exactly who I'm talking about, someone having a Fugazi account has something to do with something going ablaze. However, they may opt to say that something caught on fire. And since this is the case, what I'm picking up on is a celebrity energy. However, this particular celebrity is someone that feels you don't know who they are. And since this is the case, a comedy show and an Outback excursion has something to do with it. Now, for some, you may have recently went to a popular buffet. However, what I'm getting to is a horseback ride. Now, if you feel like this is you, joining the membership is my suggestion. However, if you are not the individual that went on an excursion, what this is getting to is someone feeling like you're one of their choices. So since I'm pulling on the energy of choices, what I gather from this is someone that you haven't spoken to and someone that feels like they can get whatever they want from you is going to say that they need you to come right away. And since this is the case, someone wanting you to share their world has a lot to do with the energy that they're currently in and the reason why you feel lethargic. Now, in regards to someone not being able to think clearly, You may refer to Archangel Azrael as an archangel, and since this is the case, what you are communicating is not being heard. And this is because the correct information was already displayed publicly, and the individual that knows it is still inclined to call them by a biblical doctrine that is outdated. Now, if you are someone that is an enthusiast, what this is getting to is a collection. Now, for this particular individual, this collection has a lot to do with outdated books. However, the information in it is correct for that era. However, the timeline is not. And since this is the case, someone referring to an outdated doctrine has a lot to do with why someone is confused and why someone feels like a platonic relationship is plutonic. Now, in regards to something being plutonic, it has something to do with solids, not minerals. Now, if you feel like plutonic is platonic, then this is definitely for you. Now, in the recent past, a karmic adventure that you went on with someone that you already know is up to no good. It's speaking of the energy that you're currently in. And since this is the case, someone feeling like they bound you has a lot to do with androgynous energy. Now, if you feel like you are androgynous, what this is getting to is someone replacing your energy with someone that they feel looks better. Now, in regards to someone feeling hopeless, this has a lot to do with them being impatient, and because they're impatient, they refer to speed tilling. Now, you may feel like this person is bored. However, I beg to differ because their current energy is the energy of complacency and drama. Now, someone could be in the dimension of money making, and what this is referring to is a Taurus energy. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a Taurus. However, the dimension that you're currently in resides in Taurus. And since this is the case, you being able to travel away from someone that you already know did something in a different existence has something to do with a popular influencer. And while you were away, this influencer decided they would block you. Now, if you've recently seen any of my shorts, what this is getting to is you getting bits and pieces of information that pertain to you years ago. Now, for those that are aware, I'm the type of reader that draws on energy of the future. However, currently, the energy that I'm pulling on is up to date. And since this is the case, in the event of you traveling outside of your location, what this is getting to is someone wanting you to keep a secret. And this is not just any secret. This is talking about something pertaining to a grand. Now, for some, this is a great grand. And for others, this is a great, great, great grand. So what this is getting to is your ancestors. Now, what I also know to be true is someone feels like soon is not soon enough. And since this is the case, I'm going to pull some more cards. Now, because half of them fell on the carpet, what this is getting to is someone attempting to hide their whereabouts, and if you knew their location, you would say they were right around the corner. Now, for some, this is something that is inevitable. However, for others, this is talking about you going on a trip, and when you go on this trip, someone's going to attempt to give you your flowers. Now, an anchor has a lot to do with your current energy. However, for some, what this anchor is speaking of is you not being able to hold on to a specific person, and because you're not able to hold on to this individual, some are wanting to say that you're docked. And since these individuals feel that you're docked, what this is getting to is someone believing that you were placed somewhere else, and because you're there, no one's going to hear you or see you. Now, you may feel like this is simple-minded thinking, and I agree. However, in this current energy, it's only certain individuals that have access to you. Now, because there's so many reversed cards here, what I'm going to do is put this on tier 2. Now, if you are someone that is interested in the behind-the-scenes energy, my advice is to join tier 3. However, 2 is suitable for whoever this is. Join the membership. Deuces. What is your name? What is your name? Sergisias Ietha.